So the inside of this, I actually wasn't going to do a video on the inside, but pretty impressed. I mean, the way the shell comes apart, basically you just undo the coupler boxes. They just slide out. If you look inside, all the ditch lights have contacts. I mean, that's pretty cool. I've never seen that in a model where they actually have contacts that when the shell goes back together, it rides on those, and that's what sends it. And this is a non-sound one, but it does come with a sound box already there. So all I'm doing is I got a 21-pin decoder and just going to stick it right in here. I bought the Digitrax. The main reason I got the Digitrax is I just wanted to see, it should hopefully program and consist better than the other one. So it looks like this board should pull off. And I bent the pin. So I just straighten the pin out and it just slides over. So these pretty much can only go in one way. And then this is just the DC board. If you ever want to put it back to DC, even though this thing should do DC and DCC. So that's just kind of what it looks like on the inside. I thought it was pretty cool when I got it apart. Just it looks like it's got contacts up here too. Maybe those are just pins. But anyways, I'll put it back together and start to program it. So I've come to programming this, and for whatever reason I can't get the red classification light to come on. And one of the function leads, function 2, just does not work. So I don't know if it's the red light that's burned out or what's going on. I checked the harness, all the wires look like they're hooked up. The only thing I could do is start testing the board. So the way this works, it's actually pretty cool, is they have all the class lights, the headlight, everything on this board here. And then if you look down in here, right in the center, right there, right behind those contacts, those are tubes for the lights to come up to the headlight and the class lights. So it's a pretty cool way of doing it. That way you don't have the lights wires coming out, so when you take the shell apart, it's good on their part. I just can't figure out how to do that. The red class lights, it's not a big deal. Not that I'll probably ever use it. I'm just trying to make sure everything works. So that's the issue I'm having, because right now I've been using JMRI trying to do all the functions. And if you buy this decoder, make sure and update your JMRI to 4.8, because I think it's the DH166MT does not show up in their list, and it's one of the new additions that they added. This is a fairly new decoder, so just want to point that out. I don't know if anyone else is having this problem, because I think everybody's probably buying these with sound and not a DCC only. So if you have a DCC only, and it'd be nice to know if your red class lights work or not. So the underside detail of this thing is actually pretty nice. It's probably on par with like an Athearn Genesis. You can see all the traction motor cables. They're actually molded into the side frame or a plastic frame, which is fine. And then you got your, I believe these are the bathroom cleanouts for the cab. And all the truck Detail's nice. It's got the fuel gauge, filler. I'm not sure. I think that's another sight gauge. But yeah, looks real nice. And on the packaging, it comes with these screws that screw into a metal tray or a plastic tray. It really holds it in well. This thing's pretty much not going to get damaged during shipping. The other nice thing I really thought was cool that they kept on here is they actually added the chain on the trucks there for the brakes. I believe that should be the emergency brake. Could be wrong, but yeah, overall, I mean, it's got all the see-through vents. It's got the I believe that's a PTC antenna array. Front end, real nice. All the MU, the cut bars. Supposedly these move. Yeah, it's just like looks like almost like a Detail Associates cut lever. So on this one, I don't know if it's mine or all of them. I've seen other videos where the number boards light up. I can't get mine to light up because this is a DCC only. So that could just be a function of I bought a DCC only one and somehow it's not connected. And like I said before, the red class light, which I believe is this one, will not illuminate. Again, I don't know if it's something wrong with this model or if there's some programming that I just can't figure out, but I'm just going to keep working on it. I'm not a Canadian modeler, but I really like the looks of these. I thought it was really cool. So it's pretty much how I model stuff. So if I like it, I'll just buy it or model it. Not that I need any more engines. I'm kind of going overboard here. I'm actually probably going to be selling a couple here just to make room. So here it is all back together. The running is actually really nice on this. It's really smooth, quiet. I mean, you get a little bit of the groan on the trucks. It's kind of, Atherans do that too. But you know, everything else seems to work fine. It's in reverse. So there's forward. So there's the headlight. And then if you're using DCC only, when I took the decoder out, pretty much put it in, and you really don't need to program anything. I mean, you can do the speed tables and that kind of stuff if you're trying to match, to say like an Athearn, so you can run a consist. But out of the box, everything the way you see it now is the way it was. So F0, or if you have an NCE, it's just your headlight button. F1 will turn on your ditch lights. F2 is the function I can't get to work. I don't know if that's supposed to be the red lights or not. F3 is your white class lights. F4 is your green class lights. And then F5, and the rest of them don't do anything because it's a 4-function output. I'm not sure if the Loc Sound decoder may have more features because I have that one installed in a True Trains MP36, and it seems like there is more function that you're able to get out of it. So it may have more features. I'm tempted to take the decoder out of that because it's a 21 pin as well. Stick it in this one and see if I can actually get the red light to work. That it may just be a limitation of this decoder. The main draw to the Digitrax for me was it's $20 as opposed to $40, and it aligns with all the other Digitrax as far as speed tables and matching and everything else. So all my other non-sound locomotives are all Digitrax, so that's kind of why I wanted to keep it on par with it. But here's speed step 1. Again, this is no modification to the speed tables, nothing. Then there's 2, 3, and so on. It's very quiet. It's just got a little bit of that grumble you can hear through the trucks, which is pretty typical. It may just be something that needs to get broken in. Actually, I haven't pulled anything with it. It's going to go out of frame and hook up to a pretty long cut of cars. So that's pulling probably 20 plus cars. As you can see, the cars go all the way around. And it doesn't really seem to affect it much. Probably doesn't help my track's dirty. So I haven't run stuff for a while. I haven't done any videos for a while. But the only other thing I did to this was I changed out the Katy couplers. So I usually run 1/68, I believe, is the scale one. So you can see it's just a smaller head and it just has more detail to it. But I really like this model. Like I said, I'm not a Canadian modeler, but I may buy another one of these. This is the I guess they have small versions like porthole window, non-porthole, and then the sill stripes. These are the dots. The other ones have dashes. The one that I really wanted was, I think, 9002, where it's got the Canadian and American flag on the side. So I may pick that one up in the future, or another Canadian model. They have the other, just a regular 40-2s that look real nice. I've never had a Bowser model, so I'm pretty impressed with this as far as running and the build and everything. And I mean, the rest of the body is really nice. The paint's nice, details are nice. So I just want to give a quick look at this if you're going to be doing a non-sound and trying to figure out the DCC programming and all that. So I'll probably get it speed matched here to another locomotive and see how well it does. So I've had it consisted up with my other Athearn SD70, which also has a Digitrax in it, and it's been running great. Had it run for about 45 minutes. Overall, really like the model. Impressed with Bowser. It's the first Bowser engine I've had. So yeah, if you guys are in the market and you don't want to pay the $250 for the sound one, then the DCC only one is a good option. Eventually I'll probably figure out the red class light issue, but to me it's really not that big of a deal, since if that's the only thing that doesn't work and you save, you know, $70-80, then it's all right with me. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it.